Yeah, well, given the results of what you've been doing the past few days with that Genesis bar, I'm not really surprised by that now, Tom.
You ought to read it and share it with people. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, we got a few coming out. What are we looking at here? Let's see. Just looking at um so grateful for finding Tom. Been trading for 40 years. Tom has taught me how to trade, made it fun and educational. That's from Rob. We've got what? Uh Tom, your team exceeds all expectation. Making money is certainly appreciated, but education is priceless, as the old saying goes. Teach them how to fish, and they can provide for themselves forever. And that's coming in from Craig. And by the way, special shout out from Craig. He complimented Jonathan and I yesterday, so I like that. Just a note to thank T Buzz for the fantastic afternoon trading session. Today I made bucks. Thank you. So yeah, we've got some good ones coming in. What else have we got? Uh, Louis Smith saying that TNT, the best service offered, amazing program, must have. Actually, it's Bob saying it's a best service, and Kevin saying it's an amazing program. Magic Five stocks that in the TNT Telegram window. David really enjoys that. Pays for his membership. So yeah, you've got some good ones in here, Tom.
Yeah, there's some pretty good stuff. You ought to copy and share them because there's a lot, really, so many. And those are, that makes me get motivated when I see that kind of stuff. As far as that goes. So I think that it's just pretty powerful. So
Yeah, we got a few new ones coming in. Let's see. We got Philip telling us had a great day. GLD trade from the other day. Let's see, what is it? David,
is
nice
that
little
right? What
comment.
he's writing? That's unbelievable.
Yeah, nice little comment here from David. Let me post that up.
I think he's got it down. Maybe I need to go to a course from David. That's pretty good. Wow.
Time to get in on the Magic Five as soon as we get them, or do we need to verify first? Well, the five are the opportunities. So whether they come to fruition or not depends on the market, right, Tom?
Right. It's all set up with pivot numbers for everybody. I post them early in the morning and it helps people do well. Uh, I use those numbers myself. I mean, just to give you one from this morning, Chuck. I think Apple was one. Where did I say you get long Apple?
Let's see. Let me go back and I'm trying to get to
Or
that.
you might just copy and paste it in there, and let them see. But Apple was this comes in TNT. I posted every morning between 5 and 6, and I think that there's some pretty good stuff there.
Yeah, let's see if I can. I think I've got my Telegram on the wrong computer.
I got it, Chuck.
You got it? Great. Okay, so Magic Five. We got Nvidia, Apple, Tesla, Palantir, and TQQQ. There we go.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jonathan.
So those were the numbers for today for some of those stocks, and they're good numbers. So if we get above that, you can have at it. But it's very interesting. You commented about the pattern the last few days, okay? And the pattern the last few days has been down in the first hour and a half, and then all of a sudden, you know, they start buying it, and then you get a higher genesis, and we go up the rest of the day. That's been sort of, and it stays up through the evening, and then does that same pattern every day. I don't know if it'll do it again today, but we're going to be watching for that because that's been a very reliable trade for people. Okay, and just throw that out there. But yeah, one of the things I try to tell people is that, folks, this Sunday night planning sets up your week. Sunday night, I told people at 8 o'clock, I'm getting along NVIDIA. I got along to TQQ. I got along a couple things. And then I said this market, S&P wise, should hit 6,900 this week, okay? And we hit 6,900 last night, which I thought was just outstanding for that to happen. But then I said, well, they should correct it. And they have been correcting this down here at 68.62. And yesterday's low, Chuck, verify this, was it 68, yesterday's low? So it went a little bit lower than yesterday's low. But we also went higher. So it's going to be a fight to the end, because you want to see what you really want to look for, folks, is at the end of the day. At the end of the day, you want to look for the close versus the relative daily range. And let me explain. If the close is in the top half of today's range, then you're going to get more buying. If it's in the lower half, actually the lower third, then you're going to get some selling, maybe some more lows. So that's something to look for, okay? And so I think that's something to look forward to as we sort of, we're sort of down here making lows during Genesis. And when Genesis is making lows, and everybody understand, if you look at Genesis, why it's set up to make a low again. Does everybody understand that? I want you to understand that concept. You take RB3's high and look at the current price and draw a line, and just go to a live market if we can. We'll just go to a live market and cover this, because I think it's such a great lesson. If everybody sees the high made by around RB3 and it points down, it's telling you Genesis is setting up for a low. Now, if Genesis, this is the other thing you need to know, if Genesis doesn't make a new high after Genesis bar and we continue down, that's a continuation pattern, then you can look for some real selling this afternoon. Everybody understand that concept? 4 out of 5 days, though, you usually get a lower high during this time frame. And that really helps you navigate the rest of the day, knowing that one fact. Okay, Rob, I'm going to repeat it for you. Take the top of RB3, circle RB3 right there. Okay, if you draw from the top there, Rob, to the current price, it's pointing down. See that? So Genesis, and you got to do that thing in this computer. It should be a white bar. What did you do yesterday to get it white?
We're not there yet. It's 11:12.
No, I'm ahead of myself then.
Yep.
Good point. Which means we'll be looking for a low between 11:30 and 12, okay? Okay, that's what we're looking for. And if you look back over, you got a little support there. So there's the odds are we probably, the odds would probably end up being the data 4 out of 5. And that's going to happen more often than not. And that's what I wanted to show people. The power of listening. I always talk to people. People say, hey, I'm not doing so well. I said, are you listening? And I think a common percentage of traders almost need a hearing test, because they don't listen. They got things on their mind. They're probably busy doing something else, or not focused or whatever. And a lot of key points happen, okay? A lot of key points happen when you miss it. And you might miss a key point. It makes a big difference if you're making money or not making money, Anyway, let's check in on the top tickers. NVIDIA, trigger 192.55 this week. Stock hit 100 after that. That's a pretty good play, isn't it? Anybody make that NVIDIA trade there? That's a heck of a trade. Now we're going to get to do it again. MU, this is a lightning trade. Look at that sucker. 240 was its trigger. How high did it get, Jonathan?
At about 256 on Monday morning.
16 points on. I'd say that's a pretty hot two stocks. You know, for that to occur. You know, that's pretty sweet, really. Apple, there's one, 272.55 in play, ready for another leg up above 276.11. Okay. That's good stuff. IBM, look at that. Look at that breakout on Tuesday. A true trade on IBM. So hold on, let me just stop you. What this tells you, if you can make Sunday night planning and get an invitation, you ought to come. If you miss it, you ought to watch it before you trade. That's what this tells me. How many people agree with that statement? Yes or no? That's a nice trade. N&E said stay out, and we did. XBI, and John, I saw a note. You did not make. We didn't get in this trade. I guess if you bought the stock, you did, because XBI right now is at 114. That's a nice move. What happened? We just didn't get in.
Yeah, our limit didn't fill. It was too much of a runaway horse on us.
Yeah, I like this XBI, folks. I'll trade it again. I will trade it again. Tesla, keep your eye on it. I think if we get above 445, I had it in the Magic 5 today. If it got above 445, I'd buy it. QQQ, look at that, 615, even though the market's down, the QQQ hit this morning. It's about 619 right now, but it hit about 625 this morning. Hey, Ernie. SPY 675 trigger. 681. This is all good stuff. TQQ. Look at that trade. Nova says, I'm new here, but I want to attend. How do I get an invitation to Sunday? Put your email in there, Nova, and we'll make sure you get an invite. And I agree with that statement. I study this stuff over the weekend when the markets are closed and things things get clearer. That's what I'm trying to say. Things get clearer. I just give you a little background. I'm pretty consistent. Would everybody say that's a true statement, or is actually better than that, isn't it? I'm a pretty consistent trader for people that listen. I mean, 85% accuracy is running better than I usually tell people 4 out of 5 right. If we tracked, that's what would happen. But it's just pretty interesting when you sit there and map it out. That's pretty good. Very consistent, says Frank from California. All right, welcome to Train and Trade. I hope everybody is glad they're here. My T-Buzz Talk and Trade, DTItrader.com, the 24-hour coverage on the market. Sort of has the characteristics of what I do live. The only difference is it happens outside in any time, really, in a 24-hour period when I post stuff in there to make money off of. Now, today's topic is tape reading with my ETR page. I think this is very important. It's one of our earliest tools. I can do this presentation because I can glance up there and see the general flavor of the tickers I care about with the ETR page, the electronic tape reader. The roadmap ETR page and the 24-hour market go hand in hand. Now that stocks are trading 24 hours, you can track those stocks throughout the night, starting at, like at 8 o'clock at night. I call it the real opening. And you can follow those stocks. For example, let me give you an example, okay? Here's a great example, okay? QQQ was at 622 and ended up going to 625 overnight. There's an example with the QQQ index, okay? And Tesla started deteriorating last night. But let's focus on the ETR page and 24-hour market, today's education. Now let me cover the 7 reference bars that help us frame the 24-hour market. What I've done, this comes from my Globex days, I map out key times associated with key events around the clock. So no matter where you are, you can take these bars here to have a clue what to do. And every time you're in one of these time zones, you have the time and the bar that controls that. Does everybody understand that concept? So like right now, 9:30 to 10, the reference bar 3, the down bar I showed you will lose control to the RBY bar that starts at 11:30. Everybody see how that works? So we'll start focusing on that bar at this time of day. So say I've been sleeping all day and I wake up, you've got the ability with my approach to come in anytime, day or night, focus on the right information to make your decisions. That's what this does for you. So the question is, does it work? Well, ask everybody who's been with me all these years. It works in spades. It's so good. And it's called reference bars. And we have that into our unique charting that shows how it frames each and every time period, the reference bars. These are the times you have to know when you're doing things. And how many here tape read like I do by watching stocks and say, especially stocks you're interested in, and watch how they trade? I've been doing it for years. And the feature of the DTI roadmap software is specifically designed for tape reading. Now, I'm a tape reader, and this feature has been very instrumental over these years, keeping up with what was going on when I'm doing presentations or watching things, okay? And I think it helps people understand. Easy to set up under tables. You go to the ETR table and put the tickers that you care about to follow. You add symbols to the ETR line, and those symbols show up in this form. So real quick, I have many pivots along the way, but go back and look at 9:30 where it was 68.91. Everybody see that, 68.91? So I'm not a buyer at 9:30 when everybody else is seeing overnight action. Even though we made highs, I'm a wait and see. And when we get below 79, what happens? We go lower. That's that open to open range that we went lower. And now we're trading at, where are we trading right now? Now we're trading at 62. So we're down at the lows of the day, but I also know the following. Time makes a play. Everybody see the time right now is 11:25. And what will change the tone of the market? A reference bar will change the current tone. A lot of people, come into the market and they get short and then they get hammered. Does that ever happen to you? You see the market down like this, you can't stand it any longer and you just go short or buy puts and all of a sudden the market changes on you. Does that ever happen to you? Well, this is going to keep that from happening if you follow this process. It used to irritate the heck out of me. Hey, the market's down, it's going down, it's going down. And I go get short at the wrong time, and all of a sudden it retraces back up. Okay. So this is something that I use throughout my trading day, and I'm able to use that ETR page for different tickers and all that. That is what I do by watching. And for example, another good use, you're always looking for key numbers. Look at NVIDIA. Does everybody see how important it'd be for NVIDIA to get over 195? You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 readings, 6 readings above 195. So that tells me, without doing anything else, that NVIDIA today, if it got above 195, becomes a big buy. Look at Apple. Apple today tells me that above 272, it's a buy. If I go look at Apple right now, it's at 274. You see, and that's in a down market. You see how valuable this tool is to trading? And you put any ticker in here you want to, but I'm just giving you a couple examples why this is on every roadmap I have out of the factory. I'm sitting here looking at it right now. I can tell you that silver is strong, AGQ. I can tell you that Apple is strong. I can tell you NVIDIA is just going backward and forth. Okay? How many people see what I'm saying right here using this ETR line on your roadmap? And you put any ticker in here you want to follow. That's the beauty of it. And it tracks it 24 hours. This one tool is so valuable. It's been on every roadmap issued since I created it years ago. That's how I use the ETR page. Any questions about the ETR page? Any questions at all? So let me ask a question. And this is a question that I ask myself all the time. How am I going to make money this afternoon? And when am I going to, if I trade today, how I'm going to make money? How many people are asking themselves that question right now as you're looking into the future? Pedro, watch it for a few days and you'll understand it. You'll see the trends develop around it. So how many of you, if you had a way, let me ask you a question. Everybody here, tell me if you go trade, what kind of accuracy you have when you trade. Let me ask that question first. How many of you know exactly, if you traded 10 times, how accurate you'd be? 55%, okay. Frank from California is right where I'm at 80%. Romy's at 65. Romy, would your account, let me ask Romy, would your account increase in value if you could get up to 80%? In other words, you'd have 15% of those losers would be profitable, right? So your goal, my goal has always been to be accurate, okay? Because I know it reduces my risk, okay? James says, without you, I'm at 40%. James, you'll be a lifelong student. All right. Now, I told you there was breaking news. Everybody remember my video? I said, come here, right? I said, there's breaking news. Here's the breaking news. I really debated, for the last 30 or so days, I've been live trading with everybody in the afternoon, 1:30 to 3. Now, who's a member of my live trade from the afternoon? 1:30 to 3. Okay. And they kept saying, Tom, will you do this? And I only agreed to do it. I only agreed to do it through December, right? Well, yesterday, I conducted a poll in there. And I can be influenced by you because I'm here for you, because this is what gives me a thrill. But I had overwhelming demand for me to go further with the live trade. You spoke yesterday, and we'll show you this in a little bit, overwhelming demand. You know, I was going to do it if y'all were at 80%, people wanted me to do it at 80, but when y'all were close to 100%, I said, you know, I got to do it now. Y'all are forcing me to do it. So here's what I'm going to do to kick off 2026. The first quarter I'm going to commit to do. And I've got 58 people yesterday that said they wanted me to do it, correct? Okay. And you got to ask yourself, what's the true value of me putting trades in your pocket? Well, multiply about 80% times the trades I put in there. Here's what David wrote. I'm an experienced trader, but my prior experience does not substitute for what I've learned from you. This week, I've had my biggest day in over 20 years. That's something for somebody that's been around as long as David has to say that. David, thanks for writing that love letter. I appreciate it. That makes me know I'm doing something really right for people by spending this time doing it. Cherry wrote, now Cherry's got a small account. Since the first week she started live trade, she's been hoping she'd continue the session after this year. Her confidence grows and her education grows as well as her account. That is who I'm trying to help, because somebody that's trying to find that right balance of how much to trade, when to trade, and how to trade works out pretty good being live with you, doesn't it? Thank you, Cherry, for that love letter. Dave, who, you know, he's a long-term student of mine, but he gets a review every day. The beautiful thing about what you do is that the live trade. I love the live trade, and people love it. Now, how does live trading with T-Buzz work? Well, here's the way it works. I meet and try to accomplish the following goals. I try to show you how to make money each and every day. In fact, we got a joke going in live trading. It costs you when you're not there, because every day with my experience in all the different tickers out there, I try to find something that the odds are in our favor. We're not limited, and I focus on that afternoon. Now, we're not talking about day trading here. We're talking about maybe a swing trade or a income trade or a hot moving stock during that time thing. But so far, the results speak loud and clear. This was a TQQ trade based on $2,000 of risk. That's 10%, over 10% on a TQQ trade. I'd take that, wouldn't you? There's another one, 234. We're building up. Man, this is beautiful slide work, Jonathan. I love these slides. 234. Hey, we're getting paid more. 344 on that one. Now, what I do for you, we get together about 1:30. And by the way, we tape it because there's a real educational value in reviewing the tapes. I show people what the markets are doing for the month and how to position portfolios. I show how I'm playing the particular that day inside that week. And then I talk about that day inside the day we're talking about, the current day. I always highlight education that's pertinent that will help you and help you get on the right side, what I call of history. I show you the live trade window that opens up at 10 after 2 and when it closes, when I make the trades, about a 30, 45-minute window during that time of day, 2:10 in the afternoon. Constantly teaching, trying to help you. How will it work for you? Well, number one, I'm only taking a limited number in here, so I get to know you. I get to know what you're looking for. And I let you, every day I hold this, I say, tell me what you want to learn next. Because that's a key question when you can type in there, hey, teach me about dividends. Teach me about how to enter stocks. Teach me how to know the general market's going down. Teach me how to know when the general market's going up. All you have to do, if you want to, is take the trades, be there, and even if you got experience, I'll show you things you don't know that I picked up over the years. The whole goal is to grow your account through education, learning the art of trading. So what's the cost of the membership? Let's think about that. If I'm going to commit Tuesday through Friday, the cost of the membership has to be, in my opinion, it has to be beneficial from a financial situation for you. Meaning, let's let the uneducated pay for it. So here's how I got it priced. If you're not a current member, right now, I'm saying right now because I might change these prices because it's so valuable. $9.99 for non-members. That means you can start the day with us and go forward through the end of March. If you're a current member, you can add to your current subscription for $7.49 and get one of the slots. You are given first right of refusal today. Once I hit my number, we'll cut it off and you'll be waiting for somebody either drop out or you won't be able to get in because I'm not going to mess around with this. It's so valuable. I got limited spots. Join now. Call us at 904-706-3532. Now, here's what I want to see. If you sign up, okay, keep in mind that on December or January the 8th, I'm going to have an all-day event live starting at 10:30 on that date, okay? You will qualify for that at no extra cost if you sign up today. Sign up by going dtitrader.com/tbuzzlive, or you can call and ask questions at 904-706-3532. But here's what I need from you. I'm going to count the number that come in. I'm going to be talking about this, and I'm going to count who's first and who can make a decision to be part of it. So if you're a current member, you know how valuable it is, get signed up. If you're new, get on board. Any questions other than what I just said? Peg, if you talk to Kelly Barber, she'll help you. Claire, thanks for signing up. There's 2 spots going away just like that. Just like that. Tom asked, are these trades mostly spreads or straight calls or puts? Tom, there are 3 type trades I do. Spreads, straight calls, straight puts, and stock. Dinah's taking one. Okay, Kelly's here, by the way. Get signed up. Let's don't waste time. Let's do it. Let's get everybody in that's on board for this that wants me to do it. Bob says he's signing up. Kelly, you need to get busy, girl. You got 5 people. The first 5 people said they're in. I love it. All you got to do if you want to sign up without talking to Kelly is hit dtitrader.com/tbuzzlive. Any